Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and this is not only one of the coolest, but also one of the boxiest vehicles to ever come to SnowRunner. Now, regardless of whether or not you've ever heard of the Volvo C303, it is legitimately one of the coolest vehicles that Volvo has ever made, in my opinion. Now, I highly encourage you guys to visit the mod creator's mod.io page, download this thing, support the mod creator because he did an absolutely awesome job with it. And it literally looks like it could have been in the game from the get-go. I mean, it looks like it belongs here. It genuinely looks like it belongs here. And I haven't driven it yet, but I'm going to assume that the performance is very well balanced to the game itself. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and look at the interior, which, by the way, looks amazing. Oh, dude. Important! Oh, this is so cool. This is so freaking cool. So yeah, let's get into the garage, check out the upgrades, take it for a drive, and dude, I could see this being, like, easily being put into a modded campaign playthrough as a very well-balanced scout, and also something that would be very useful as, like, a console mod, because it would just slot right in very, very well into your game. So let's go and fire it up. Man, it jumps out of the hole a little bit, that's for sure. Whoa! It's a little bit of a drifty boy. All right. So, let's see. We've got, engine-wise, we've got a Volvo B30A and a modified B30A. Now, your stock engine is going to give you a power-to-weight rating of B, a durability rating of B, and a fuel consumption rating of S. Now, the modified engine will get you an A- power-to-weight, which isn't too bad, durability of B, and a fuel consumption of A+, so it'll be a little bit worse. But we'll go with the modified engine. And your stock gearbox is your ZF S418, and you also have a off-road gearbox with your low-range gears, which we are definitely going to go with. Now, we have a couple of different suspension options. The stock one is the stiff suspension. We also have raised, standard, soft, standard soft, raised stiff, and standard stiff. I'm going to go with raised, standard, soft. I know it's kind of a lot to take in, but it's a lot of different options, but it's really no big deal. So we have two different mud tire options, the PT11 mud tires and the PT14 mud tires, which, ironically enough, the only real difference seems to be that these are okay on the road and these are excellent everywhere. So I'll give these a try and see how they go. We also have these studded winter tires, which are very cool. And these Volvo off-road tires are going to be sort of your default option. Now, these are also not recommended for use in deep mud, though, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. So we'll go with the PT14s, and then we'll do a extended, experimental. Let's do the autonomous. 16 meter, not too bad. All right, so we'll do the PT14 spare, which is really nice that they let you pick, and then we'll throw a snorkel on it, and then let's see, utility supplies. We've already got the external fuel can. Standard rear bumper is really your only option. Oh, exo cage with lights, or just the exo cage. I like the exo cage with lights. That's pretty cool. Standard front bumper and custom front bumper. Yes. Decorative panels. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's kind of like if you were gonna do the exterior customization. So let's see. We got a couple of different special paint jobs. I love that one. And then of course you've got your solid colors as well. I'm gonna go with that. I gotta go with that. It looks so good. Oh my god. And you could put beans in it. Oh yes. And you actually have a full range of your standard like air fresheners as well. Now let's do we'll do a pine forest in this one. And exterior customization is sort of locked out, so we're not gonna mess with that. But let's go ahead and try this thing out now. That is like the coolest looking thing. I know that it's probably like, there's probably gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be like, oh, that's really ugly. What do you mean it looks cool? I think it looks cool from the standpoint of like, it's almost like, yes, it is sort of ugly, but, let's see what trailers we could pull. Your standard scout assortment. That's what I figured. It'd be your standard scout assortment of trailers. But the fact that, like, this thing's looks really do sort of set off, like, what it is. I mean, it's so different from almost anything else out there that it's like, you can't help but love it. And I think it looks really cool in just, like, a quirky, fun way. It's, oh god. Whoa! It can get, like, if you put the soft suspension on it and you try to go fairly quickly around a corner, it will let you know almost immediately that you've screwed it up. Yeah, it'll let you know almost immediately that you've messed up and you shouldn't do that again. Let's go back into automatic mode. And we will give her a run up the, oh god, give her a run up the hill climb. Kick the clutch, there's third, there's high range. Oh, we ran over that rock and that destroyed our momentum. That's frustrating. I bet you that's like the only reason why they put that rock there too. Come on! No! No! It's all good though. Don't worry about it. The thing is about this little rig is that, like, it's actually very, very well balanced, and it would suit the stock game balance super well. Like, you can tell that this was meant to fit into the standard game without being too overpowered, without feeling like it was out of place, and without feeling like it was, you know, easy mode, basically. But it does a great job of feeling very well balanced, but also feeling unique and making you feel like it's got its own unique set of capabilities. Now, in the shallow mud, does great in high. Let's see what happens when we go into something slightly deeper. Not super deep, but slightly deeper. There we go. There's that. There's that. Oh, boy. That's low range. Four-wheel drive and diff lock on, so not really backing down off of anything there. And it's doing all right. It's definitely not going to be a mud monster, but it will make it through, you know, your standard range of mud obstacles, I think. That's going to be what I would call, like, moderate depth. This is what you're mostly going to run into in, like, say, the Tamir maps. You're not going to run into a ton of mud like this in the Yukon. Most of the mud you're going to run into in the Yukon is either a little bit shallower or super deep, like what we're about to drive into. Actually, what we're driving in right now is what most of the mud on the Yukon is like, and that's why I think that this is, like, yes, it can drive through the mud, but it's not going to be any sort of, like, ultimate mud monster. How's she going to do through here? Oh god, it's... yeah, it's a little bit... ooh, it's a little bit of an oof through here, bud. Well, actually, maybe not. It actually picked up some speed. I don't know how, because normally whenever anything drives in here, it loses speed, but it was actually going slower outside of the mud pit, which is a little strange, but nevertheless, it's doing all right, and it's definitely making some, you know, kind of making some pace, but at the end of the day, like I said before, oh, the lighting looks really good. But at the end of the day, like I said before, it's definitely going to be on the side of stock game balance rather than feeling like you could just barge through everything. So if you're somebody that likes very realistic mods, this will definitely be one that you'll enjoy. I would definitely recommend this to anybody that is all about the realistic mods, for sure. Come on, make your way out. Oh, make your way out, bro. Make your way out. Come on. Dude, you're so close. Don't get stuck here. We're almost right at the edge. Come on. Come on. It only wants to, like, actually rotate if you turn left. For whatever reason, it will not continue. There it is. Come on, there we go. Find your grip. There it is. You really do have to treat it like it's a stock truck. And I think a lot of people are going to love that. I think a lot of people are going to think that that's the biggest upside of this rig, is that you do have to treat it like a stock in-game truck. Otherwise, it will wind up in situations that are not the best for it. Now, I'm very curious to see how it does through the dips, because you're dealing with, like, a vehicle that obviously has its front and rear axles very far forward, which will be great for approach and departure angles. And so far, it seems like it doesn't really have much of a high centering issue either. I mean, I can definitely tell that that's why That's why they designed this thing the way they did, so you could take it just about wherever and not run into any problems when you were out in the middle of, out in the middle of nowhere and in rough terrain. Yeah, even in the sections like this, it's not really even having to worry much about getting high-centered. Now, you do have to be aware that it is a little top-heavy, but, once you get to the point where you're aware of the top heaviness, it doesn't really bother you all that much. However, don't forget that it's top heavy and go into an obstacle, like way up on your side and then get surprised when you flop it over. Because you will, trust me, if you forget, you will. Now, of course, the bridge jump. The bridge jump is, oh God, would you go in a straight line, please? Thank you. I would definitely say the bridge jump is like, while it's not the most realistic test, it's definitely the most fun test. And I know also that a lot of people, they usually say like, well, if you put it in neutral halfway down, you'll go faster. And while I agree, I kind of want to see just where the vehicle's gearing stops. And that's why I usually will leave the vehicles in gear, because I want to see where the gearing limits them to. And that way we can get a really accurate representation of, the true speed rather than, gravity assisted, basically, and how far they'll make it off the jump. So we're actually going to start out in 5th gear. Jumping over that edge, and let's go! Picking up some speed. All right, little Volvo, I see you. Little brick mobile. Not a hint of damage. Definitely not the farthest I've ever made it on that jump, but at the same time, like I said before, not a hint of damage. And so I've got to give it credit where credit's due, because if you could do that in any vehicle without a hint of damage, that's a tremendous plus for any vehicle, in my opinion. Now, if y'all enjoyed this test of this Volvo C303, make sure you let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, show this mod creator some love, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later.